कंसल्टेशन प्रोग्राम में सादर अभिनंदन है। आप सभी से मेरा पुनः निवेदन है कि कृपया अपना मोबाइल फ़ोन साइलेंट मोड पर कर लें। हमारे चीफ गेस्ट आ चुके हैं और लाइटिंग ऑफ लैंप की प्रक्रिया आरंभ हो चुकी है। कुछ ही देर में वो हमें यहाँ ज्वाइन करेंगे। थैंक यू। नमस्कार। I seek permission of the Honorable Chief Guest to commence the inaugural session. Thank you, my Lord. My Lord Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, My Lord Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Honorable Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, My Lord Shri Justice Sujoy Paul, Honorable Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, My Lord Shri Justice Sushrut Arvind Dharmadhikari, Honorable Chairperson, POCSO Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Madhya Pradesh, Ms. Margaret Guarda, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Judges, respected Registrar General and officers of the Registry of High Court of Madhya Pradesh, dignitaries present in the auditorium, esteemed participants, viewers who have joined us virtually, warm greetings to everyone. I, on behalf of Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, welcome you all to Manthan, a state consultation on effective implementation of POCSO Act 2012. At this juncture, kindly permit me to quote Honorable Shri Justice P.N. Bhagwati. I quote, "Children are a supremely important national asset, and the future well-being of the nation depends on how its children grow and develop." I unquote. Commencing the program, I would like to begin with the welcome of our chief guest. I request Shri Ram Kumar Chaube, Registrar General, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to welcome our chief guest, my Lord, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, by presenting him a sapling. Thank you, sir. I request Shri Rajiv Karmahe, Member Secretary, MP, State Legal Services Authority, to welcome my Lord Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Honorable Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, by presenting him a sapling. Thank you, sir. I request Shri Padmesh Shah, Additional Director, State Judicial Academy, to welcome my Lord Shri Justice Sujoy Paul, Honorable Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, by presenting him a sapling. Thank you, sir. I request Shri Vivek Saxena, Secretary, POCSO Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to welcome my Lord Shri Justice Sushrut Arvind Dharmadhikari, Honorable Chairperson, POCSO Committee, Juvenile Justice Committee, by presenting him a sapling. Thank you, sir. I request Shri Samresh Singh, Secretary, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to welcome Shri Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, by presenting him a sapling. Thank you, sir. I now request Shri Lolly Chen, Child Protection Specialist, UNICEF Bhopal, to welcome Ms. Margaret Guada, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF Madhya Pradesh, by presenting her with the sapling. Thank you, sir. I now request my Lord Shri Justice Sujoy Paul, Honorable Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to kindly introduce the consultation.
माननीय मुख्य न्यायाधिपति जस्टिस रवि मालीमत जी, प्रशासनिक न्यायाधिपति भ्राता शील नागू, भ्राता सुश्रुत धर्माधिकारी, सभागार में उपस्थित उच्च न्यायालय के भ्राता और भगिनी न्यायाधीश गण, श्री अशोक शाह, एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी महिला बाल विकास विभाग, मिस मार्गरेट गौडा, हेड ऑफ यूनिसेफ मध्य प्रदेश, the registry officers of Legal Services Authority, Judicial Academy, local authorities, POCSO judges, principal magistrate, CWC chairpersons, members CWC, member JJB, DCPOs, civil society organization members, superintendent child care institutions, Shaurya Dal members, members SJPUs, women safety cell members, Urja help desk members, Shaurya Didis, the officers from Forensic Science Laboratory, public prosecutors, resource persons, nodal officers of concerned departments, DWCD members, Secretariat members and officers of High Court Juvenile Justice Committee, and members of the media. Namaskar, good morning to all of you. POCSO एक्ट ने इस साल अपने 10 वर्ष पूरे किए हैं और इस तरह से POCSO एक्ट भी किशोरावस्था की दहलीज पर है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट जुवेनाइल जस्टिस कमेटी के मार्गदर्शन पर सारे प्रदेशों में इस तरह के आयोजन हो रहे हैं, जिससे पिछले 10 वर्ष में इस अधिनियम के परिपालन में क्या समस्याएं आई हैं, क्या कमियां आई हैं, उनको रेखांकित किया जा सके और उनके उन्मूलन के सचेत प्रयास किए जा सकें। हम कोविड महामारी के व्यवधान के बाद बहुत दिनों के बाद इस मंथन के लिए यहाँ एकत्रित हो पाए। कोविड महामारी के बारे में बालकों के मनोविज्ञान पर बहुत गंभीर असर पड़ा है और यूनिसेफ ने इस बारे में एक शोध पत्र भी जारी किया है। मैं अपने परिवार के एक अनुभव को आपके बीच में बांटना चाहता हूं, जहां पर कोविड के दौरान एक बालक और उसके माता पिता एक फ्लैट में बंद थे और माता पिता दोनों अपने अपने कमरों से ऑनलाइन दिन भर रात भर काम किया करते थे। वो बालक इतना उद्वेलित और उत्तेजित हो गया कि उसने एक दिन जब वे भोजन कर रहे थे उन दोनों के लैपटॉप और मोबाइल जाके संडास में डाल दिए। तो बाल मन पर कोविड के दौरान बहुत गंभीर असर पड़ा है, जिस बारे में यूनिसेफ का ये शोध है, और उनका सहज और स्वाभाविक विकास बुरी तरह से अवरुद्ध हुआ है। निश्चित तौर पर इससे उपजी हुई जो मनोवैज्ञानिक और सामाजिक समस्याएं हैं वो समय के गर्भ में हैं और आने वाले दिनों में हमें उन चुनौतियों का भी सामना करना पड़ सकता है। जो इस दौरान के आंकड़े हैं वो ये बताते हैं कि जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट में 2020 में 8,485 प्रकरण दर्ज हुए, जो 2021 में बढ़कर 12,863 हो गए। 2022 में अभी तक उपलब्ध आंकड़ा 9,582 केसेस का है। इसी तरह से पॉक्सो एक्ट में 2020 में 6,540 प्रकरण दर्ज हुए, जो 2021 में बढ़कर 6,921 हो गए और अभी तक का आंकड़ा इस वर्ष का 52-54 का है, 5254। तो ये जो डेटा का ऊर्ध्वगामी बढ़ता ग्राफ है, ये ग्राफ हमारे माथे पर भी चिंता की लकीरों को गहरा करता है। हमारी समाज व्यवस्था कितनी संवेदनशील है, ये इस बात से पता चलता है कि हम निरीह और निर्बल के साथ किस तरह व्यवहार करते हैं। ये बालक जो निरीह हैं और निर्बल हैं, वे निरीह और निर्बल तो हैं पर वे हमारा भविष्य भी हैं और हर एक बालक में अनंत संभावनाएं छिपी हुई हैं। किसी कवि ने अपनी दार्शनिक कविता में ये लिखा था कि बालक ने कंकड़ डालकर ताल को कपा दिया, बालक ने ताल को नहीं अनंत काल को कंपा दिया। तो इस संभावना का जो की दार्शनिक अभिव्यक्ति इस कविता में कवि ने की है। लेकिन जब हमारे कानून निर्माताओं ने जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट को अमल में लाने का प्रयास किया तो उन्होंने धारा 11 के रूप में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण धारा उसमें समाहित की और मुझे लगता है ये अपने तरह का बहुत अनूठा कानून है, जहां पर हर उस व्यक्ति से, चाहे वो पुलिस विभाग का हो, चाहे वो न्यायालय का हिस्सा हो, जब भी कोई इस बालक उसकी अभिरक्षा में रहता है तो उससे उसी तरह के व्यवहार की कानून अपेक्षा करता है जैसे कि वे उसके माता पिता हों। कानून में इस तरह का प्रावधान पहली बार किया गया है। तो ये कोई सिर्फ कारुणिक वक्तव्य नहीं है कि हमको उनको इस तरह का व्यवहार देना चाहिए। ये कानून भी, हमारे जो संविधान के तहत बनाया गया कानून है, वो भी हम पर यह जिम्मेदारी देता है कि हम उन बालकों के साथ उस तरह का व्यवहार करें। संविधान की धारा का अनुच्छेद 39 ये कहता है कि बालकों को स्वतंत्र और गरिमामय वातावरण में स्वस्थ विकास के अवसर और सुविधाएं दी जाएं और बालकों और अल्पवय व्यक्तियों की शोषण से तथा नैतिक और आर्थिक परित्याग से रक्षा की जाए। आज और कल के दोनों सत्र 4 तकनीकी सत्रों में विभक्त किए गए हैं और विशेषज्ञ इसमें हमारे प्रतिभागियों को संबोधित करेंगे। विषयों को इस तरह से चुना गया है कि पॉक्सो एक्ट के पालन में इस तरह के बालकों को मुख्य धारा में रखने और इनके रिहैबिलिटेशन के बारे में क्या प्रभावशाली कदम उठाए जा सकते हैं और इनको उठाए जाने में क्या कमियां रही हैं, उनको रेखांकित किया जा सके। और इन सभी सत्रों के साथ साथ ग्रुप डिस्कशंस भी हैं जिसमें प्रतिभागी अपने विचारों को व्यक्त करेंगे और उस मंथन से जो निकलेगा उसका सभी लोग मिलकर सामूहिक रूप से विचार करेंगे और उसके आधार पर हमारा नया स्टेट एक्शन प्लान बनाया जाएगा। जो पिछला स्टेट एक्शन प्लान बना था वो 2018 और 19 में बना था और उसकी कोविड की बाधाओं के बावजूद हम लोग समीक्षा करते रहे हैं और उस समीक्षा के आधार पर बहुत सारे लक्ष्य हम लोगों ने हासिल किए हैं। लेकिन अब समय है कि उन लक्ष्यों को जो हमने हासिल किया है उसका मूल्यांकन किया जाए और नए लक्ष्य हासिल किए जाएं। तो मुझे आशा है कि सारे प्रतिभागी निसंकोच अपनी बात रखेंगे और एक सार्थक चर्चा करेंगे जिससे उस सार्थक चर्चा से हम वे रास्ते निकाल सकें जो हमारे सामने आने वाली बाधाओं को हटा सकें। मैं आप सबका फिर से इस कार्यक्रम में स्वागत करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, my lord. Moving towards the next segment of the inaugural session, I take pride in announcing that the Juvenile Justice Committee has created its own website. I now invite Shri Samresh Singh, Secretary, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to introduce the launch of the website and elucidate its feature.
A very bright morning to all the dignitaries on and off the dais, guests, participants, and everyone present in the auditorium and joining through virtual mode. We are pleased to announce that the official website of the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, is being launched by Honorable Chief Justice and Honorable Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Jabalpur. May I request my Lord Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, and Honorable Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Jabalpur, to formally launch the website by unveiling the replica of the homepage of the website. Thank you, my Lord. The objective with which this new website is launched is to provide a platform to our visitors for drawing updates regarding the activities of Juvenile Justice Committee of High Court of Madhya Pradesh, which will strengthen our communication with the stakeholders. This website is user-friendly as it allows the visitors to browse information in both Hindi and English language. The new website is interactive and gives better access to circulars, orders, reports, publications, schemes, important national and international documents, guidelines, important judgments, child-centric acts and rules. The website also contains a dashboard to provide easy access to the data of juvenile justice boards and child welfare committees functional in Madhya Pradesh regarding their cases, disposal, and new pendency on a quarterly basis. Also, in order to have a two-way dialogue with the visitors of the website, a feedback and suggestion column has been provided. The website will address the issue of non-availability of forms prescribed in the juvenile justice rules, which will now be accessible in easily downloadable formats to be used by the stakeholders in the field. Amongst the new feature, the site contains integrated social media buttons for Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to foster improved communication with juvenile justice stakeholders. We will be constantly updating our content with more and more helpful information, articles, standard operating procedures, announcements, and success stories in the form of case studies. We hope you will find the new website with a fresh look and easy to access information, and we also wish to establish this portal as a source of information for those who visit our site. Thank you.
I am confident that masses at large will benefit immensely from the information available on this website. UNICEF is acknowledged worldwide for its role in safeguarding the interest of children. In order to explain the various activities undertaken by UNICEF, I now invite Ms. Margaret Guada, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF MP, to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable Chief Justice of the High Court of Madhya Pradesh, dignitaries on the dais, honorable judges in the auditorium, ladies and gentlemen, namaste. Good morning. Greetings to all of you who have come from different parts of Madhya Pradesh for this consultation this morning. Indeed, it gives me a great pleasure to congratulate you for the significant strides that the state of Madhya Pradesh has made in its efforts in prioritizing and ensuring a safe and protective environment for the children in the state. Already the launch of this website will provide an opportunity for the whole world to see what we are doing in the state. So congratulations once again for the launch of the website. Collaboration between the judiciary, the Department of Women and Child Development, the MP Police, and strategic partners has not only provided the opportunity to put in place effective infrastructure for the protection of children, but continues to strengthen dialogue and measures to improve the quality and acceleration of delivery of services for the well-being, for the protection and the achievement of the rights of children in the state. The efforts of the Juvenile Justice Committee, led by Justice Sujoy Paul, focusing on both prevention and timely rehabilitation of children in vulnerable situations, goes a long way in mitigating the otherwise lifelong adverse effects on the growth, development, and performance of children who have been violated by sexual violence. While child sexual abuse is one of the most horrific child rights violations, it is important to recognize that in most situations it does not happen in isolation. Children faced with other multiple vulnerabilities, including child marriage, including child labor, trafficking, cybercrime, violence in the home, in the environment, physical and psychological abuse, are often direct targets for sexual abuse. This, therefore, extends the harm for which these children have to undergo. It then becomes manifold. While a lot of focus is rightfully given to the girl child, it is important to continue to pay attention to both boys and girls. In conversations with adolescents, in one of the joint programs that UNICEF has with the Municipal Corporation of Bhopal, that is the Safe Cities initiatives, many boys have vocalized and have spoken about the abuse experiences that they have gone through and the trauma that it has caused in their lives. This is well known to the families in which they come from, and it is also clear that some of the perpetrators are within that household. And these facts are corroborated by a study done by the Ministry of Women and Child Development in 2007. And so this is an important reason why we should focus on both boys and girls when addressing situations of child abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, while we cannot limit violence against children to data, it is important to recognize statistical evidence to enable us to understand the magnitude of the problem so that we can put in place appropriate mechanisms. The launch of the website is a clear indication that we will be able to access real-time data on what's happening in our state and in the various districts. So I'll highlight just a few of them that have come up. And as per the National Crime Records Bureau, that is 2021, the state of Madhya Pradesh ranks high, where there are over 6,000 offenses under the POCSO Act in MP, which is about 11% contribution to the India statistics on children offenses. Approximately 20,000 cases of crimes against children, which is again 13% contribution nationally, and about 6,000 cases of offenses by children, which is 18,000 of total such crimes in India. An indication that in the state of Madhya Pradesh, we need to do something and continue to do what we are doing to improve the situation and well-being of children. And for that reason, UNICEF has recently signed our new country program document, which is a new strategy for 2023 to 2027, the work that we are going to do in collaboration with the government of India. And the issue of ending violence against children is a priority in that document. And in the state of Madhya Pradesh, this remains a priority for UNICEF. And in that regard, therefore, this weekend is therefore a very momentous opportunity under the leadership of the Supreme High Court, the Honorable Supreme High Court, to come together as stakeholders to take stock of 10 years of implementation of the POCSO Act in the state. While a lot of progress with very many good practices have been put in place, this meeting will provide an opportunity to reflect and identify key bottlenecks and solutions. And UNICEF is ready and to support and to continue working with the government to strengthen the implementation of the POCSO Act in various areas, including putting in place extensive preventive measures at the ground level, working with the Department of Education in schools to ensure that children are in school, stay in school, are learning, because schools provide a very protective and a safe environment. Especially those children in the most marginalized and hard-to-reach areas. Education of children, and especially adolescents, on issues of adolescent reproductive health, including cyber risks, should be part of school education to enable them to take charge of their emotions and their sexuality. Community-based structures should also be strengthened to ensure prevention of abuse. Secondly, there is critical need to strengthen rehabilitative measures, as is already going on, but strengthening them, which includes legal support, availability of qualified support persons, compensation for survivors, educational and skill development programs, and support to families, and above all, delivery of counseling and mental health support to children who are going through these issues are a critical component of the programming that we need to look at in these 2 days and even as we go forward. The government of Madhya Pradesh has developed a robust child protection policy that is applicable to all. However, there is a critical need to have an operational guideline and make sure that they are implemented and monitored in a timely and a continuous manner for a sustainable implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm therefore looking forward to a lot of learning in these 2 days, and UNICEF reaffirms its commitments once again to continue our collaboration and our partnership with the government of India, and particularly the state government of Madhya Pradesh, in putting in place effective mechanisms and measures for the protection and the well-being of children in Madhya Pradesh. I wish you all a very successful collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. State has an obligation towards protecting the rights of children and helping them become a useful citizen of society. To further elaborate it, I request Shri Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Madhya Pradesh, to kindly address us.
Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Sri Ravi Malimatji, Honorable Justice Sri Sil Naguji, Honorable Justice Sujay Paul ji, and also Chairperson of JGC, Honorable Justice Sri Susrut Arvind Dharmadhikari ji, all the Honorable Justice sitting before us, respected dignitaries, and respected Miss Margaret Gowda, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF, Madhya Pradesh. I thank Honorable Justice Sujay Paul for inviting me in 2 days state consultation and implementation of POCSO Act 2012, which is in need of time. It is evident from the facts that most offenses against children happen in the known places by the relatives, friends, neighbors of the family. We as a human being live in different kind of so-called relationship within the family and around the family. We are here in the role of father, mother, uncle, friends, and stranger, etc., in the society. We have created a limited space like family and neighborhood. Most of the offenses are caused by known persons, since the society is full of violence and other different kinds of psychological disorder. It's not behaving is and its behavior is not in the right way. We feel to be responsible from outside, but we are not so much responsible from inside. This prompt to take advantage of easily available things. Children being very weak and hence vulnerable target of such kind of erratic internal behavior of the human beings. Hence, children suffer a lot within the family, within the close boundary of the family and the neighborhood. In Madhya Pradesh, in 2021, the total crime against children was 3,515, out of which 3,485 number of crimes were committed by the persons who were known to the family. This is almost 99% of the crime committed by the people who are known. So this is a challenge for the society in which you are living. How can you prevent such kind of unwarranted behavior of relatives and known individuals from committing crime against the children, in particular against those children who are orphan, poor, adolescent, and girl child? Sometimes poverty ignores occurrence of crime because survival comes first. Here, the need of interventions comes from the government and the society, so that such children be connected with the mainstream of life through different kinds of schemes. Government of Madhya Pradesh for child protection is running various kind of schemes, such as we are running 124 child care institutions in the state, and presently more than 2,500 children are residing there and being given all the facility for learning and getting proper education and the skill for the survival. We have established 51 child protection units in all the 51 districts of the state. 51 welfare committees are in operation consisting of 241 members. 95 juvenile justice boards are also working there. The state has adopted child protection policy 2020 and notified in the Gazette. The policy defines the roles of various departments and the protocol for running the CCI. Apart from this, we have appointed 140 psychosocial trained counselors who are working to support the mental health issue of the children across the state. We have also created committees, child protection committee, which includes 23,359 children protection committee at village level, 313 child protection committee at block level, and 5,966 ward level committee in the urban areas. To create awareness among the society and the stakeholders, intensive campaigns are regularly organized at the public places like bus stand, hospitals, schools, colleges, and on the regular basis using electronic media and print media. We have also trained Anganwadi workers, school teachers, and students about their role and responsibility. At the village, block, and ward level, we have organized so far 2,988 training programs to make aware of the society. Various schemes. Now, how to connect these people with the mainstream of life. To do this, we have various schemes run by the government of Madhya Pradesh. I would like to mention a few, like Mukhyamantri COVID-19 Bal Seva Yojana. We know that it was very cruel epidemic, and the greatest sufferer were the children. To help them out, through the Mukhyamantri COVID Bal Seva Yojana was launched. It includes assistance of free ration and education as well as financial support of 5,000 rupees per month. We are helping around 1,400 children right now. The second most important scheme for the children was approved by the government of Madhya Pradesh, which is Mukhyamantri Bal Ashirwad Yojana. We keep the children up to age of 18 in the CCIs. And when they go out, there is no place for them to survive and to fit themselves in the society. This scheme addresses such issues. The children living CCIs, we have provided them for free professional education and the college education, and we are giving a scholarship of 5,000 to 800 rupees per month for such kind of children. And for those children who are in need and care, we are also providing 4,000 rupees per month everywhere. And lastly, the most important scheme, the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana. These schemes aims at providing free education to all the girls child from class 1 to graduation, so that we can promote the and welcome the incoming of girl child in the society, which is generally not welcomed. Under this scheme, we are providing 1.3 lakh rupees assistance to every girl child, apart from giving them free education to the graduation level. This includes IITs, laws, and other engineering colleges, medical colleges, all are free. All the Ladli Lakshmi girls who are taking admission in technical, medical, science, commerce, law, and other schemes, they have free access to that. So far, we have registered around 43.4 lakhs of such girl childs. These childs belong to the family of who are not income tax paying. So in this way, government of Madhya Pradesh is trying to bridge the gap between the deprived children and bring them in the mainstream of life. I thank you, sir, very much for giving me the opportunity to make apprise of you what government of Madhya Pradesh is doing in the field of child protection. Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable address, sir. I now request, I now request My Lord Shri Justice Sushrut Arvind Dharmadhikari, Honorable Chairperson, POCSO Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to kindly address the gathering.
Honorable Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Administrative Judge, Honorable Shri Justice Sujay Paul, Chairman, Juvenile Justice Committee, Mr. Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Ms. Margaret Gavda, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF Bhopal, brother and sister judges present here, Registrar General, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Principal District Judge, Jabalpur, Member Secretary, MPS LSA, Additional Director, MPSJ, Officers of the Registry, Officers of MPSJ, Judicial Officers, Member of the State Commission for Protection of Child Rights, Officers of the Government of Madhya Pradesh, Officers from Jabalpur Administration and Police, distinguished guests, representatives from print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. It is a proud privilege to share the dais with Honorable the Chief Justice for the state-level consultation on issues related to the increasing sensitivity and implementation of POCSO Act 2012. Being the chairperson of the POCSO Committee of the High Court of Madhya Pradesh, it is indeed a pleasure to have you all here today in Manthan for effective implementation of the POCSO Act 2012. The regrettably high incidences of violence against children are a sad comment on the state of affairs in the society we live in, which all too often is hidden in the shadows. there is significant evidence that violence and abuse can affect the child's physical and mental health in the short and longer term, impairing their ability to learn and socialize and impacting their transition to adulthood, which with adverse consequences later in life. Too many people turn a blind eye, and for too many children lack the moral and means to speak out, to tell a trusted adult, or to find a safe space. These incidences of sexual abuse of children has had not only harmed individual children but also undermined the very fabric of the society. To cater this menace, our legislature passed the Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act 2012, intending to protect children from offences of sexual assault, abuse, and pornography. The POCSO Act provides for establishing a special POCSO court for the trial of such offences and matters conducted therewith. The said Act prescribes rigorous punishments up to capital punishment. The Act also made provisions for avoiding the re-victimization of the child during the course of investigation and trial, thus prescribes child-friendly court procedures for the trial. The Act sets a gender-neutral tone for the legal framework and does not distinguish between survivors and perpetrators of child sexual abuse on the ground of gender. Further, the Act prohibits disclosure of the victim's identity in any form. To reiterate, this Act addresses and resolves every hardship of the survivors in the best interest. The state of Madhya Pradesh has worked to implement the statute in its true letter and spirit. Presently, 57 exclusive fast-track special POCSO courts are functioning in the state. As on 1st October 22, the pendency of POCSO cases stands at 16,794 cases, for which hybrid task fast-track special courts are functioning in districts like Jhabua and Neemach to dispense justice. Addressing the need of survivors' rehabilitation, the state is working towards ensuring care and protection along with shelter to the survivors in childcare institutions. In addition to the auxiliary services, rehabilitation would be fragmented in absence of monetary compensation. It is imperative to highlight that a total of rupees 22 crores 29 lakhs 61,700 has been disbursed from 2012 to September 22 among 28 boys and 1,381 girls who survived the act of sexual abuse. Despite numerous beneficial provisions, a lot needs to be done towards achieving the objective of the Act. The survivors of child sexual abuse do not receive adequate support from the stakeholders desired in the legislature. What keeps us away from achieving our objectives is the improper implementation of the POCSO Act. The absence of support persons which were to support the survivors throughout the process of investigation and trial, the non-availability of special reliefs to the survivor and their families, and delayed or no interim compensation are the few implementation gaps which are just the tip of the iceberg, which needs our coordinated efforts to improve the response mechanism to the survivor of child sexual abuse. Along with our focus on improving the response mechanism, equal importance must be bestowed upon the preventive measures. Some of the key recommendations could be promoting personal safety among children, developing child protection policies, and enforcing them in schools, and increasing the awareness of parents on the same is essential to prevent sexual abuse of the children. In the wake of the POCSO Act, the awareness gap, bottlenecks, and challenges faced by the different stakeholders to achieve the goal needs to be addressed. Our consultation and deliberation exercise of 2 days would act as a foundation for acknowledging the challenges and achieving the objectives of the statute by developing the state action plan for the effective implementation of the POCSO Act. Lastly, being a stakeholder in the child protection system, I concur that we owe our children, the most vulnerable citizens in any society, a life free from violence and fear. We all must work together, providing all the rights for the children enshrined in the Constitution and child-centric legislation. I wish all the best to the participants and organizations of this conference and pray for its success. May all your efforts bear fruits and you can achieve the goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my lord, for your enlightening address. Now I take the privilege of inviting our guest of honor for this event, my lord Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Honorable Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to kindly address us.
Honorable the Chief Justice, my esteemed sisters and brothers on the bench from Jabalpur as well as from other benches, the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. This consultation and discussion which has been organized of 2 days, I congratulate my brother Justice Paul for that, because it will go a long way in instilling that sense of compassion in you, which is required for dealing with children, the child which is defined in the POCSO Act. There are various stakeholders in the POCSO Act. As far as the Act is concerned, the rules, everything is laid down, the schemes are there. All schemes are directed towards benefiting that particular child who is the victim of offense, in the offense. Now, there are various stakeholders, such as there are police units, there are special courts, there are the National Commission, there are State Commission, there are child welfare committees, and there are doctors involved, and so many other persons. Now, all procedures, laws, rules are laid down, but still there is something wanting. And how do we deal to ensure that the benefit and the object of the rules, the laws, reach that particular child? Now, in my humble opinion, the best thing to do is that each of the stakeholder who is involved in this particular process as a stakeholder in the act or rules is to invoke the sense of compassion in him or her. The moment you do that, you don't have to follow any rule or procedure laid down. That compassion will enable you to achieve the objective of the act. Even if you have not read the act, even if you have not gone through the rules, doesn't matter. But if you can invoke that sense of compassion, which is there in every human being. So, if you can do that, well, you can achieve the object of the act. Now, this entire discussion, consultation, which takes place in 2 days, I hope and expect and I pray to God that you will get benefited out of this. And when you go back to your field where you work, you are a better person by invoking that sense of compassion in you for the child. And I can only say that it has been very appropriately titled as Manthan. तो इस मंथन में जो अमृत निकलेगा वो आप उस चाइल्ड तक पहुंचाइए, यही आपसे आशा है. थैंक यू.
Thank you for enlightening us, my lord. I take the honor of inviting our chief guest for this event, my Lord Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, to kindly address us.
Honorable Justice Sheel Nagu, the Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Honorable Justice Sujay Paul, Chairperson Juvenile Justice Committee, Justice Sushrit Dharmadekari, Chairperson of the POCSO Committee, my esteemed sister and brother judges, Shri Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary, State of Madhya Pradesh, Ms. Margaret Gwada, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF, Madhya Pradesh, other dignitaries and participants, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to everyone. We are gathered here today at the inauguration of the State Consultation on Effective Implementation of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 and the rules thereunder. It has been 10 years since the promulgation of this act. Although the aim of this two-day state consultation and the larger consultation that is to follow is to plug loopholes in the implementation of the act, as a society, our ultimate aim must be to create an environment where every child is safe, such that the legislation is deemed redundant. Children are amongst the most vulnerable sections of society. They deserve a secure space not just within the confines of their homes, but in every public space that they visit. To prevent such crimes, it is imperative to educate people about such crimes. The rules that came into effect in 2020 have provisions on the importance of generation of awareness about personal safety and dissemination of such information by the government in public spaces. It is important to go a step further. The onus must also be on the schools, the parents, and other caregivers to encourage open dialogue on these issues. For instance, schools that can set aside time on a regular basis and educate students on these crimes. Physical education classes form a part of the curriculum in all schools. Physical safety should also be introduced as a part of the curriculum. Often, children are unaware that a crime has been perpetrated against them. Those that are aware are hesitant to disclose the act or the identity of the offender for fear of being chastised. According to data made available by the National Crime Records Bureau for the year 2020, the offender is someone who is known to the child in over 96% of reported POCSO cases across the country. The percentage for Madhya Pradesh stands at 97.9%. Hence, it is in only 3 to 4% of cases wherein the offender is a stranger to the child. In light of these alarming statistics, the reluctance and fear in the mind of the child is immeasurable and can only be dissipated through an environment of trust. Age-appropriate talks and discussions can be undertaken in a conscientious manner so as to sensitize and not scare the children. If the school does not have the expertise to deal with this, then think tanks, governmental or non-governmental organizations who are experts in the field should be consulted. The objective must be to embolden the children to speak out and fight back when faced with such a situation. Discussions and dialogue would help children to be aware and alert. It will encourage those who have been subjected to these heinous crimes to have their say and prevent further crimes from occurring. In addition to educating children, parents, caregivers, and others in society must be sensitized against these crimes. Open dialogue is the only way to abolish the stigma associated with these crimes. Offices and workplaces are now mandated to organize sessions on prevention of sexual harassment against women at the workplace. It may be effective to also mandate sessions on POCSO. Primers on how to broach these topics with children, how to identify a child who has undergone abuse, and the requisite steps to be taken once the crimes are disclosed would equip parents and others to constructively react instead of neglecting the issue due to lack of information. Parents and other caregivers may be hesitant to complain, especially if the offender is someone known to the child or someone with whom there are familial or societal bonds. Instilling confidence in the parents and the other caregivers about the existence of a machinery that seeks to safeguard the child and punish the perpetrator would go a long way in dispelling the hesitation amongst parents to report the crimes and seek help at the appropriate time. Suppressing such a crime instead of reporting it may lead to long term psychological effects on the child, and it may also lead to continued abuse. Further, it would give an impetus to the perpetrator to continue with the crimes. Timely reporting to ensure the physical and psychological well being of a child is crucial. The State Legal Services Authority can also assist in making people aware of the legal options available to proceed against the perpetrators, especially that of monetary aid, which is available to the economically weaker sections of society. Emphasizing the severity and the consequences of these crimes through discussions at the workplace may also dissuade people from carrying out these crimes. The realization that children, their parents, or their caregivers are now aware and not averse to complaining may serve as a deterrent to anyone who had hitherto believed that they could get away with a crime against children. Statistics by the National Crime Records Bureau also reveal that POCSO cases have been steadily increasing, notwithstanding the pandemic and the lockdown. This is not very surprising considering the statistics on the familiarity of the child with the offender and the fact that the internet usage and online presence of children had significantly increased during the pandemic due to schoolwork or otherwise. By virtue of the waning of the pandemic, schools have almost entirely shifted to the physical mode, and the usage of the internet by children could also be significantly reduced. Calls over the internet and access to chat rooms must be completely restricted so as to derail any unintentional and unsafe communication. It may also be prudent for parents to use a child lock and monitor the internet usage until children reach an age where they are able to assess the right from the wrong. It is essential for society as a whole to work together to destigmatize children who have suffered through sexual offenses and enable them to express their thoughts. The more that we talk about it at schools, at workplaces, at gatherings, the lesser the stigmatization. Consequently, the chances of crimes such as these being brushed under the carpet decreases, leading to an increase in the reporting of such cases. This paves the way for provision of assistance and justice to the children. I wish all the stakeholders and participants of Manthan, the state consultation of effective implementation of the POCSO Act, the very best. I really look forward to hearing about the deliberations, the consultations, the suggestions, and all that we are going to decide during the course of these 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, my Lord, for your valuable guidance. It will be our earnest endeavor to strive to create a safe environment for our children. I now request Shri Samresh Singh, Secretary, Juvenile Justice Committee, to give the vote of thanks.
My Lord Shri Justice Ravi Malimat, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh. My Lord Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Honorable Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh. My Lord Shri Justice Sujoy Paul, Honorable Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh. My Lord Shri Justice Sushrit Arvind Dharmadhikari, Honorable Chairperson, POCSO Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh. Respected Mr. Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Madhya Pradesh. respected Ms. Margaret Guada, Chief of Field Office, UNICEF Bhopal, Honorable Judges of the High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Heads and Representatives of Stakeholder Departments of Government of Madhya Pradesh, Registrar General High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Principal District and Session Judge Jabalpur, Presidents of Madhya Pradesh High Court Bar Association Jabalpur, High Court Advocates Bar Association Jabalpur, Senior Advocate Council Jabalpur, District Court Advocate Bar Association Jabalpur, Commissioner Jabalpur Division, IG and DIG Jabalpur, Collector Jabalpur, SP Jabalpur and other officers of Government of Madhya Pradesh, officers of Registry, MPSLSA, MPSJA, member of State Commission for Protection of Child Rights, distinguished guests, esteemed participants, member of print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen present in the auditorium, and audience attending the inaugural session virtually. A warm and graceful morning to everyone. I, Samresh Singh, Secretary of Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, feel honored and privileged to tender vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have made it convenient to attend this inaugural session of Manthan, the state consultation on effective implementation of POCSO Act 2012. On behalf of the Juvenile Justice Committee, I convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our Chief Justice, my Lord Sri Ravi Malimat, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, for sparing valuable time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. His Lordship's constant guidance and support has immensely helped us in shaping the consultation. We are also highly grateful to His Lordship's insightful address, as this will surely encourage us in our following sessions. Thank you, my Lord. I also thank my Lord Shri Justice Sheel Nagu, Honorable Administrative Judge, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, from bottom of my heart for His Lordship's presence in the inaugural session and sharing his thought-provoking vision for the state. Thank you, my Lord. I extend my gratitude to our chairperson of the Juvenile Justice Committee, Honorable Sri Justice Sujoy Paul, for his lordship's consistent and vigorous mentorship that radiated a source of energy within us. We will always remain grateful to you. We are glad to have you with us. Thank you, my Lord. I am also thankful to my Lord Shri Justice Sushruta Arvind Dharmadhikari, Chairperson POCSO Committee, High Court of Madhya Pradesh, for his Lordship's address, which will enlighten our minds and has shown us the right path. Thank you, my Lord. I am also grateful to Mr. Ashok Shah, Additional Chief Secretary DWCD, and Ms. Margaret Guada, CFO UNICEF, for their guidance and for sparing time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion. Further, I am fortunate to thank honorable members of Juvenile Justice Committee, honorable members of POCSO Committee, and honorable judges of the High Court of Madhya Pradesh gracing the occasion. Last but not least, I thank the head representatives of stakeholder departments, DWCD, UNICEF, our dear participants and media persons present here. We hope that we will have a meaningful consultation on the path shown by our learned speakers and will be able to develop the state action plan to address the challenges faced by the children of our state. Thank you.